Welcome to the first of our new Signagelive Updates series, where I'll be taking you through what's new here at Signagelive, along with some of the exciting new features that are coming soon. Before we continue, there are a few items coming early next year which may or may not require your action. But stick around until the end of the video where I'll be taking you through what's coming up in our latest CMS update. Early next year, we have our new security measure, Grant Network Access, rolling out to any remaining networks that do not already have this enabled. This feature was initially rolled out earlier this year to any networks created after June 2023. For those unaware, Grant Network Access gives you more control over if and when a Signagelive team can access your network. Starting early next year, should a member of our support team wish to access your Signagelive network, for example, we will need to raise an access request which can then be approved or rejected by an administrator or a user with the relevant permissions on your network. Once approved, our Signagelive team can access your network for the requested duration of time, and once this time has passed, we will not be able to access your network again without raising another network access request. You also have the option to provide indefinite access should you wish to, and more information on this can be found on our Help Center. It's worth noting that no action is required on your behalf for this update to take place. Also coming early next year, we have the latest Signagelive client update heading to Samsung Tizen players. This update includes client-side feed support and changes to Widget SDK, and this will be pushed to all Tizen players from January 15, 2024. No action is required on your end. If you have a Tizen 2.4 player, it's also worth ensuring that our new endpoints can be reached by your players, as we'll be migrating some of these older Samsung players over to our Nina endpoint in light of the recent changes occurring to our global root certificate. More information on this can be found on our Help Center. For those making use of data integrations within Signagelive, you'll be happy to hear that we're releasing a SharePoint news widget to our Signagelive marketplace, which will allow you to display news items from your SharePoint sites directly to your Signagelive players. More information on this will follow in due course. We're also excited to announce that we're bringing a new player type to the fleet of supported Signagelive players. Players from the Sony Bravia Professional range that run on Android 10 and support Pro Mode will soon be joining the lineup. In this first release, the Signagelive for Sony client will roll out with a limited feature set, with more features being added in later client versions. Thanks to the new feature flags that have been implemented into our system, we're now able to roll out updates on a more incremental level. And that all starts with Phase 1 of our latest CMS update, which is releasing next year. This update includes an improvement to bdeploy for BrightSign, which we will be supporting on Series 5 devices. For those unaware of this feature, bdeploy allows you to configure your BrightSign devices remotely using our upload module or a CSV template. Our user interface is also getting a slight overhaul, and soon you'll be able to see page numbers appear wherever there are lists on your network, such as the Playlist Manager or the License Manager. We'll also be introducing the ability to sort these lists in an ascending and descending order. This is a great addition to networks managing a large number of players and content. Now that's everything coming in the near future, but I'm excited to share with you some of the stuff that we have happening beyond that. Sync groups have been a part of Signagelive for some time now, and what these allow you to do is synchronize a group of players as they proceed from asset to asset. Players in a sync group would permanently function in sync, but now with the introduction of screen takeovers, our flagship feature in this latest update, you'll be able to have groups of players temporarily function in sync for a designated time before falling back to their respective schedules. This would be great for a chain of restaurants, for example. Say you had a couple of players displaying a breakfast menu, and a third screen is displaying completely different content. Let's say it's listing a specific meal option for that day, and at 2 PM you want an ad to run across all three screens perfectly in sync. And this is where screen takeovers comes in. You'll be able to specify an exact time at which these players begin to function in sync, and when they fall back to playing their default content. Also coming soon, we have the ability to duplicate assets within a playlist. This is particularly handy if you need multiple instances of the same asset in a playlist. You can duplicate the asset along with its asset properties, such as the duration, the tags, and the validity. A new feature is coming to the user audit area, and soon you'll be able to filter your reports by players. Again, this is particularly useful if you want to isolate the events shown on your reports to a specific player on your network. Granular user permissions is getting more granular and organized with the introduction of permission sets, which are groups of default and editable permissions which you can apply to your individual users, user roles, user groups, and more. This gives you an extra layer of customization for a user's Signagelive experience, and makes navigating all of the various permissions available so much easier to do. For those who make use of single sign-on, you'll be happy to hear that we're introducing the ability to sync groups of users into Signagelive from your chosen identity provider. At present, this includes Okta, Azure AD, and OneLogin to name a few. Once synced, your users will appear in a group within the settings users area of your Signage Live network. And finally, we're adding the ability to send webhook notifications from Signage Live to external applications. Some of the notifications which can be sent include config write status, license activity, player activity, and more. And that's it for this first iteration of Signage Live updates. More information on all of these new features will follow in due course. Just keep an eye on our help center and on your emails. If you have any further questions about anything we've discussed today, please get in touch and we'd be more than happy to help. See you on the next one.